Baskı altında kalabilmeleri veya şu an hali hazırda kalıyor olmaları durumunda insani yardımın o bölgelere, komşu ülkelere zamanında ulaştırılması gerektiğini öneminin altını çizdi. Aslında bu gibi durumlarda yakından izlemenin biraz zor olabileceğini ama baktığımızda Pakistan ve İran'a ulaşan insanların, Afganların normal sayılar, yani geçtiğimiz zamanlarla karşılaştırıldığında paralel bir resim çizdiğini söyledi.
Crisis that would provoke a displacement crisis, they have to really.
But what we have observed in recent weeks is
the large exodus of refugees coming into not only neighboring countries but also into Europe.
So good evening. I conclude tonight my fifth visit to Turkey as the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. The fact that I have come to Turkey every year during my, except last year, but every year during my tenure indicates the importance of Turkey for my organization, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. As you know, Turkey for many, many years has been the country in the world hosting the largest number of refugees, more than 4 million. As you know, the majority of refugees in in Turkey are Syrians, 3.7 million, and the others belong to other nationalities, with the majority being Afghans that have been here before this crisis, about 300,000. I spent a day in Ankara where I was received by President Erdogan and the ministers of Foreign Affairs and Interior. And then I spent 2 days in southern Turkey. Yesterday I was in Urfa, today here in Antep, and where I met local authorities, refugees, local organizations, Red Crescent, and I visited several projects. The refugee policies of Turkey continue to be extremely positive, especially in respect of Syrian refugees who have access to education and to healthcare and other services. However, I appreciate that these policies have come with a certain cost for the Turkish government and Turkish society. And the unrest, the tensions that we have seen in some communities, especially in the big cities, Ankara recently, indicate that it is important to pay attention to this issue. This is why my visit here is also an opportunity to appeal to the international community, to donor countries, to international organizations to do more to help Turkey maintain these very generous policies for the refugees that it hosts. And I have discussed these matters both in Ankara and here in Gaziantep and Şanlıurfa. I also regret that after so many years, the conflict in Syria continues not to have a political solution, because a political solution would allow many people to go back to their homes in their country, which of course is the best solution for any refugee situation. So we hope that efforts to bring peace to Syria will continue and will eventually succeed. Meanwhile, UNHCR, like other organizations, will continue to work throughout Syria to relieve the plight of people that are there. And hopefully that way we will also make a contribution to creating conditions for people to go back eventually, when the time comes, in safety and in dignity. In Afghanistan, there is a huge problem of internal displacement, people that are refugees in their own country, if you wish, 3.5 million. And many of them, maybe 500,000, were displaced in recent months by the fighting between the Taliban and the government. Now that fighting has almost completely finished. So it is very important. The priority number one for my organization is to step up, scale up our humanitarian work to help those displaced. Winter is coming. It is very cold in Afghanistan during winter, so we must help the people, all the people in Afghanistan, but especially the displaced people, get ready for the very cold season, especially if they live in the open. And in order to do that, UNHCR, like other humanitarian organizations, will engage. We'll discuss with the Taliban. We will discuss with anybody that controls an area where there are people in need. Up to now, we have not seen, on the other hand, any big movement of population towards Afghan borders. In other words, we have not observed big numbers of Afghans trying to cross into other countries so far. But of course, if the situation deteriorates further in Afghanistan, we may see this happening. We hope not, but we may see. This is why it's so important to bring a lot of humanitarian assistance inside Afghanistan right now to avoid a big humanitarian crisis. But of course, some Afghans may try to go to other countries to seek refuge, to seek security, to seek protection. And in this case, the international community will have to help the countries, especially the neighboring countries, especially Iran, Pakistan, and other neighboring countries if any refugees go there. And for me, this is also an opportunity to remind everybody that actually already in Pakistan, in Iran, but also in Turkey, as I said earlier, and in other countries, there are already Afghan refugees from before. They need help. I hope that this crisis will be a reminder that these countries also need help to continue to host them. And finally, to confirm that next Monday, the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, has convened a very important humanitarian conference on Afghanistan. He will appeal to the world for help, and I hope that his appeal will be responded to in the most rapid, urgent, and generous terms. Thank you.